Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I know it's been a long time since my last video. There have been some crazy things going on in the past month. I was sick for a while, then I was traveling for quite a bit, and then I kind of lost my mojo for recording videos. But now I thought it's finally time to be back with a new video. And I thought the first thing that I would do is to show you what I've been coloring in those past few months. So these will be my coloring pages from March to mid of June, as is today. Um, and you will see that there are not so many pages. I have not been able to color during certain periods, but there are quite some pages that I really like, and I would like to share them with you today. All right, let's get started. First, we start with a new coloring book that I got, I think, around March time, and that is Wald und Natur by Reyhan Uydaci. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Um, and I have colored two pages. And the first one I colored in March. That was the first page I colored in this book. And I used polychromos pencils for everything, just polychromos pencils. And I like how it turned out. I like the color combination. It's colorful but still kind of soft. Yeah. Um, I have to say I'm not so happy with how the polychromos pencils worked on this paper. So you can see that they are not really fully blended. They stay a bit streaky. So that's not my favorites. I have to say I think I will not use the polychromos in this book again. But I really like the outcome of this page. And I love the illustrations in this book. They are so adorable. And the next page that I actually did in May already. And that was when we were traveling with our camper, and I felt like doing this camping page. I was kind of inspired. And this time I used water-based markers for basing more or less everything. And then I went over with my Prismacolor pencils. So I have the impression that the Prismacolors worked a bit better than the Polychromos. However, this was with the marker basing, so it's not a fair comparison, but I'm much more happy with the depth of color here that I was able to achieve. I think this looks really nice. And I had the idea of turning this inside of the suitcase into a night sky for the tent. And I really like how this turned out. So I'm happy with the color choices. The bright orange tent works really well in contrast to the night sky. Yeah, and I just did a very soft background here with my great lavender pencil from Prismacolor. So I thought with this background for the tent already being so intense and dark, this would not need so much more background in the behind the suitcase. So I'm also really happy with how this one turned out. Then I colored quite a bit of Rita Berman pages. In Meine Reise durch Europa, I colored a page that was also done during traveling. It was done in April when we were traveling with our camper in Belgium. And this is the Brugge Brooks page because we were actually visiting Brugge. And I was really inspired to do this page. And I think I captured the spirit of the city quite well. We were there on a sunny day, blue skies, um, already some flowers blooming, and of course the swans in the canals. And yeah, I really like how this picture turned out. And this is completely colored with Prismacolor pencils. And I'm really happy how they work in the Rita Berman's books. So they might be my new favorites to use in her books. So this is Meine Reise durch Europa from Rita Berman. And I also colored in Meine Reise durch Asien. I initially had the plan to color Asia-inspired pages in April, so that's why I brought this book to my travels. And I did 2 pages in this book, but they are not the pages that I initially picked to be colored, because at that moment I was somehow inspired to do a different page, and I thought, yeah, whatever. I will color what brings me joy. The first page I did in April during the same travel in Belgium, and I like this one because it's a travel page, yeah, and I found that that would really, yeah, fit very well. This is also done entirely with Prismacolor pencils, and it's quite bright and colorful with some darker brown tones that gives it a bit more, I don't know, not so um, I don't know how to say it, a bit more earthy vibe. Um, and I really like how it turned out. It was also quite quick coloring. I enjoyed this one. And then I did another page in Meine Reise durch Asien, and I did this one in May. Actually, I finished it beginning of June, but I started it in May also while traveling. So it's also Prismacolor pencils. Those were my go-to pencils for most of the time, because I had them with me when I started traveling. So I started a picture with the Prismacolors. So next time I went on a travel and I wanted to finish the page, I also packed my Prismacolors. So it was kind of uh, a never-ending story. And I'm really happy with what I was doing with those pencils in the past weeks and months. So this is the peacock from Meine Reise durch Asien, and I'm super happy how this one turned out. I'm really happy with the color choices. I like how the feathers of the peacock turned out, and how I added the additional colors for the flowers, how well they integrate with the rest of the colors of the peacock. So I'm super happy with this page. So colorful, so vibrant, and yeah, I love this one a lot. So that was it for my Rita Berman pages. That was Meine Reise durch Asien. Now we come to Johanna Basford. The rest of the pages that I did were by Johanna Basford. The first page that I did was in World of Flowers. I have the German edition. And this was done in March, yeah, so it's quite an early page, the first page that I ever did in this book, because I only got it quite recently, although it's one of her older books. And I did this another, I don't know, it's not a peacock, but it's a fancy bird, right? And I did this page with Inktense pencils, and only Inktense pencils, nothing else is on this page. And I really like the color combination and the soft muted tones that I was able to achieve with the Inktense pencils. So I also really like how this one turned out. I'm looking forward to do more pages in this book, and I'm also looking forward to use my Inktense a bit more. Now I loved working with my Prismacolor pencils, but I feel like I have to do something different in the next time. So, Fancy Bird with Inktense pencils in Worlds of Flowers by Johanna Basford. And then I have also Johanna's latest book, which is Magical World. I also have the German edition, and I did a page as a color along with my mom. I think she's still working on her page, but I finished mine just recently, I think last week. And we did this flower pot fish tank page, and I'm also really happy how this one turned out. It's another very colorful page, and I'm super happy with the results. This is also all Prismacolor pencils, and I googled some inspiration pictures for the succulents. I don't know if you pronounce it like that in English, to be honest. Because I wanted them to be colorful, but still kind of realistic. And I found pictures of violet and orange and pink ones, and I integrated all those colors here. And I just used the same colors also for the underwater plants, and then in the end also the fish. And I'm really happy with the result of this page. I really like the color combination. Turned out really well. So that was the fish flower pot from Magical World by Johanna Basford. And then I did a few pages in Small Victories, not that many. I used to color a lot in this book. I was looking forward to complete it actually quite soon. I only have a few pages left to color. But in all these months, I did actually only 3 pages. Yeah, but still okay. This one was the first page that I did. And I did it in March because I had the theme of science fiction in March, and I thought this would be a cool page to fit to this topic. Those tiny space pictures, and I really enjoyed them. I was a little bit scared first because I didn't know how I would make them look good with the backgrounds and so on. But I think it turned out really nice. As always, this page is colored only with my Argosoft pencils because those are the only pencils that I'm using in this book. And then I did this page, I think in May. And I did the fruits page. And this was also one that I found kind of intimidating because I was not sure if I could make the fruit look really good. And also for some of the fruit, like this one, I had no clue what they were supposed to be. So I just went for a color that would look good. I don't know what they are. But the majority, I think, I figured out what they were and I was able to color them more or less realistically. And in the end, I have to say, I really enjoyed coloring this page. I did not expect that in the beginning. So sometimes you just have to wait for the right moment for the inspiration to come for a certain page, and then suddenly it works out well. And then last but not least, here is another page that I did in Small Victories in March. I completed the wreath series for the different season, and I did the springtime wreath in March when those flowers started to bloom everywhere, and I was kind of inspired to do that. So now I have all the wreaths complete. I will show them to you quickly. So this is spring, this is summer, that was actually the first one that I did. This is fall, and this is winter, and it's kind of Christmassy. So really happy that those are complete now. And again, it's Ergosoft pencils on this one. All right, that was it already for my completed pages in March to June, let's say. Let me think if I have a favorite page. So it's kind of difficult. I'm torn between the fish page in Magical World, which is my most recent page. Oh, let me zoom you out a little bit. Fish tank page and the peacock, I think, in Meine Reise durch Asien. Where is it? So I like them both because they are so colorful and vibrant. I don't know if I can decide. So let me know if you have a favorite page, if you could decide between those two, or if you have a different page that you like the most. Just let me know in the comments. I always love to hear from you. So thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye.